CEO Pune joined. And Kanpur? Anybody from Kanpur? Devalali?
Yes, ma'am, present.
Along with the architect, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Campti? Campti? CB Campti?
Yes, yes.
Okay. STM? People are there. Ahmednagar?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Wellington?
Yes, ma'am.
Aurangabad? Aurangabad? CB Aurangabad. CB Aurangabad and Kanpur, nobody's. Aurangabad, somebody has joined already. But they are not speaking. Hello, anybody from Aurangabad? Your mic
Yes,
is
yes,
on
ma'am.
mute. Okay. And Meerut is also there, right? Okay, we can start the meeting. It is like extension to the already whatever the training we have conducted. Yeah, I think others can mute, please. Please kindly mute your mic, please. Yeah, and this is extension to the training whatever we have given. Because now we want to see that whatever the training has been given based on that how many of you have succeeded in creating the drawings in the DXF format, and whether you tried uploading or any issues are you facing in drawing. All these things issues can be discussed with DGD architect, as well as if any issues if you are finding with our engineers also. uh, Tanvi, please can you start?
Yes, ma'am. So this training is to guide the private architects about how to prepare the drawing and to put it into the application for building scrutiny. For this, you can use any version of AutoCAD or any other software which can convert the drafted drawing into
Yeah, one
DXF.
minute, Tanvi.
Yes, ma'am.
Kiran, please, is it possible to record the session, Kiran?
Yes, ma'am. We are recording.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Tanvi, you can continue.
Yes, ma'am. Should I share my screen?
Yes, Tanvi.
Is my screen visible now?
Yes, Tanvi.
Yeah. So this is the common DXF template. You all must have seen this while preparing your drawings for the uploading purpose. In this reference template, you'll find all the layers over here floor wise. For example, floor 0 is for ground floor, floor 1 is for first floor, and so on. And two layers for basement, lower basement, that is basement 1, and upper basement, that is basement 1, and lower basement, that is basement 2. These are predefined for your assistance while creating this template file to upload. You can create further uh, layers if you want as per your requirement. For example, if you have another floor required as per your project, and if it is allowed as per your CV bylaws, you can create your own layers as well, and you have to rename them. If you will see the layer name over here, it says block 1 floor 4 stair 1. So the floor number you have to change in each of the layer if you want to create new set of the layer for a new floor. Similarly, if you want to create any new layer for the basement, so if you take the name of this layer, it says block 1 floor minus 1 built up area, and this says block 1 floor minus 2 built up area. If you want to create a third basement, then you can just copy these layers and rename them as block 1 floor minus 3 built up area, or whatever the layer name is.
That is only allowed
In,
if your bylaws permit.
Yes,
permit to create third basement or any other additional
yes.
levels.
Yes, then only you can create it this way. Also, these are the plan info layers. This is nothing, just an M text. You will just double click it and edit them as per the project specification. For example, whatever is your plot area, M2 over here stands for square meters. So whatever is the plot area in square meters, you will just write the number over here. Like this, you can edit this plan info layer for yourself. For this, you should not edit anything into the main template. You'll just copy and paste this onto your file on which you are working, and then you just edit whatever text is required as per the particular project information. Also, please remember, don't leave any special symbols behind. This less than and smaller than sign, or if you're answering this yes no type questions, please ensure you select either yes or no, just one of that, like this. Don't keep this slash or any special symbol, and please don't change any name of this already written format. For example, what we found last time was some people changed the name of the template layer name. For example, the house steps on streets, so it is HOU underscore steps underscore on underscore streets. Don't put any other alphabet or anything else into these things. uh, Otherwise the portal will not read it correctly. Just select your relevant CV's plan info layer and just copy paste it onto your file on which you are working to upload it. Edit the plan info, and then please ensure that you are working in zeroth layer by default. And the by default units of your file should be meters and scale 1 is to 1. Decimal meters over here, and the scale should be 1 is to 1. For example, if now I take any dimension, it shows in meters. 10.7 meters is the dimension of this side of the plot. So just cross check it once for your file. If you have prepared your drawing by default in feet inches, please convert that into metric, and please ensure the scale of the drawing. You might need to scale up or scale down your original drawing if you haven't set the unit metric by default in your original drawing. Then just create a new drawing having the metric units. Just copy paste your original drawing. The drawing will be prepared as per the normal process by the architects initially, with no change in process of drawing preparation and formatting, etc. So just copy and paste in the zeroth layer your whole drawing into the new metric file, and then copy and paste the plan info layer and the template layers, and then start working on it. To work on it, we just need to create the polylines, enclosed polylines, onto our floor plan. So for example, this is my plot boundary. You can create it by a rectangle also if it is a perfect rectangle, or you can take a polyline as well. So this way I have created this plot boundary enclosed polyline and an enclosed polyline for this building footprint as well. Now we just need to match the layers with already created template layers. Over here we can see the plot underscore boundary layer having color 70. It is available only for floor 0 because we need to just mark it on the site plan on ground, not on any other floor plans. So just match it with this layer. Then building footprint layer. This is in color 1, like this. Then please ensure when you're creating the setback layers, you need to ensure that your each and every point you mark for creating the enclosed polyline, it should sit properly onto the building footprint layer on one side and plot boundary layer on the other side. So don't create this setback polyline by rectangle only. Please try to create it by polyline, and the last line you should enter it with C enter. You should enclose the polyline by C enter, so that it ensures that it is properly enclosed. And these additional points onto the building footprint layer, they ensure that it sits properly on building footprint. So I would suggest you to not use only the rectangle part, even if it seems rectangular, but use the polyline and enclose the polyline with writing C enter. Similarly, we'll draw the other side setbacks. And the rear setback in similar manner. Now match them with appropriate setback layers. For front setback, this is in color 2, color yellow. Match it. For setback, side setback 1, 171 color, color blue. Match this. Then color 102 for side setback 2. And for rear setback, we have the color 11 predefined. Just match it with your rear setback enclosed polyline. So this is how we are creating the layers. We are just matching, we are just creating new polylines over our already created drawing, just to make them matched with the with this DXF template, so that portal can read them out. We have other layers also. If there is any doubt till now, you may please ask. Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Shashikala ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
You are very much audible,
Yeah,
Tanvi.
okay. So I would request you all to please keep the session interactive as much as possible. If you have any small doubts or queries, you may please ask.
Because as you all of you know, there is an immediate need of you conduct means like you have to test the application, you have to clear the all the some of the drawings through UAT, and you have to clear the building plan approval process also at the earliest. So kindly that whatever Tanviji is telling, please just make it lively, and then so that you can understand, and if you are getting any small doubt also, please raise it and get it clarified. Okay, then we can continue.
Yes, ma'am. You will see in this DGD architect folder, which, ma'am, is this folder being shared with them all, or do we need to share it?
Yes, Tanvi, it is shared.
Okay. So under this folder, you will get this template version file, Excel file. Also, you will get this DXF template file, which I am explaining just now to you. So in this template file, you will come to know if the layer is to be drawn on which particular drawing, on which plan. For example, plot boundary, we just drew it on the site plan. Building footprint, we drew it on site plan as well. Also the front set, all the side setbacks, we uh, we created them onto the site plan itself. But the built up floor areas, all these built up layers, we'll draw on respective floor plans. So now I'll just tell you how. So for example, if this is ground floor plan, we'll just mark the enclosed polyline showing the whole built up area on ground floor plan, and then we'll mark all the voids or shafts or the area which we don't want to add up onto the built up area on that particular floor plan, and then we'll just match the layers. For example, on floor 0, that is on ground floor, under the layer named block N floor I built up area, this layer with the outer layer which shows my building plate onto that floor plan. And then for the voids, I have another layer just below it named block N floor I built up area deduct. So all the deductions will match with this layer. Now we have this polyline and this polyline. Now the portal will read it like this. It will subtract all the internal voids or rectangles, whichever we have created in the deduction layer, out from the main built up area layer on for created for that particular floor. Similarly, we have created the outer layer and the internal voids polyline for first floor as well, and we have matched it with different layers. The layer name would be same, would be similar, but the name changes over here. Block 1 floor 1 built up area, this is block 1 floor 0 built up area. So now we'll change the layer and we'll match it with this floor 1 layer for first floor plan. Again, for the deduction, we'll match it with the deduction layer under first floor, like this. So now it comes under block 1 floor 1 built up area deduct. We don't need to create any built up area layers onto the terrace floor plan. Neither we need to show any staircase layers on the terrace plan, because we need to prepare the staircase layer, while ensuring the number of risers that we are going to construct onto the site, we need to ensure if the number of risers are completed till the last, till the uppermost plan just below the terrace floor plan. However, you can show the staircase on in zeroth layer, that can be read manually, but in the template layers it will not show any staircase layer or any built up area layer on terrace floor plan. Then next layer we come to plinth height. Plinth height, height of the building, parapet, railing. So all these three heights we need to show either on the elevation or on the section just once. So for example, this is your building height dimension. Just match it with the layer called block 1 height of the building. Just create a dimension like this. And match it with the height of the building layer. This is it. Similarly, we will create the parapet height dimension and these floor height dimensions. So if you'll notice, we have a different layer for different floors. The layer name is block 1 floor 0 floor height. This one is block 1 floor height, and this is block 1 floor 2 floor height. So we have different floor height layers for different floors, and this height layer shows the clear height of that particular floor from the floor finish of the lower floor to the bottom of beam of the above floor. Please don't confuse this height with this particular height which we are declaring along with the staircase. Near the staircase, we are declaring this FLR underscore HT underscore M, where M stands for meters. So here we are declaring the height from floor finish of lower floor to the floor finish of first floor. So these two heights will never match because this is the clear height of the particular floor, and this is the floor finish to floor finish height which we are declaring along with the staircase in the same layer of the staircase well. The layer name is block 1 floor 0 stair 1. For staircase, we have three types of layers: for general staircase, fire staircase, and spiral staircase. So if your CV bylaws suggest that
Ma'am,
you
I have
need
got
to
one question, please.
yes sir,
I've
please
got
go.
one question.
Yes sir.
Uh, why do you need these two heights to be shown? It will
which
create
height,
confusion.
which height sir?
Uh,
This
Floor
height
finish to floor finish and other height. But why do you need floor finish to top of the roof height? Why it is needed?
floor finish to floor finish height.
Hmm.
Sir, to ensure that the number of risers you are showing onto the plan is perfectly matching with the number of with that particular floor finish to floor finish height, the landing of the lower floor to the landing of the first floor.
Okay, right.
Yeah, yes, yes, sir. And here we are showing the clear heights because the CB bylaw says that that minimum height on the ground floor should not be less than 10 feet or less than 3 meters. So to ensure those bylaws, we are declaring the clear heights over here, and to ensure the number of risers are perfectly matching with the site condition, we are showing the floor finish to floor finish height over here. Okay, sir. Hello. Any other questions?
Yeah, one more question, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
When we draw a drawing in the AutoCAD, a plan with all the bylaws, so does it we submit it to the portal now? Some portal and it will take care of all these things here. We have to do everything.
So you have to tell the portal that this particular area should be read like this. So these template layers are for your assistance to help you matching, just by matching these template layers with your drawing, so that portal can read it out.
Okay.
So these layers you need to create onto your drawing.
Now, why can't we just we make the drawings as per the building bylaws in AutoCAD, and portal calculates everything?
Portal will calculate this thing, but portal identifies these layers by their layer names. These layers only the portal identifies. So every person, every architect will draw their drawing onto their particular layers, so portal will not be able to read whether it's the floor
Yeah, I agree.
plan or whether it's the elevation, whether. So portal identifies all the layers under these names.
Okay, one more thing, ma'am.
Yes.
For every floor, you have different layers. Eh?
Yes, sir.
Why? Why it is so?
So that portal can calculate that on this particular floor we have these things. For example, this particular floor, ground floor, we have this much built up area. This is the floor plate we are constructing, and these are the deductions part onto the same floor. So if we don't have a different layer for the first floor, a different built up area layer for first floor, the portal will read it onto the same ground floor itself. So, in order to make the portal understand that these are two different floors, we need to create it under two different layers.
Acha, in other development authorities where we are submitting the plans,
Yes,
so
sir.
it is the same layer it is doing. So it's slightly different. One more thing, ma'am. If
Yes.
we we are trying to understand the thing which you have, I think it's a very nice presentation you have given. But if any case we have some problem, how do we contact you on this?
Sir, you can just put your queries onto the mail while CCing me and DL team as well, or else you can just drop your queries under this DXF files folder, maybe
Okay.
under DGD architect folder or inside your own CBs folder, and just inform me through mail that you have such and such queries under this particular file, and you put that file under the same name under your CB folder over here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
So,
much. Nicely
yes.
explained.
Thank you, sir. Any other queries, sir?
Madam, there is one query.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Area under road widening has not been shown in this plan. So how to show in theirs?
From which CB you're
Pune
asking for?
Cantonment Board. Pune
Pune.
Canton.
Okay, sir. So, some layers need to be checked manually later on. So, for road widening, for example, we don't have any specific values which can
Excuse
be
me.
jotted down onto the portal. So, that is why we cannot validate that particular thing. But we have layers uh, asking information about what is the road width or the access width. So that particular information would be checked manually later on.
Okay.
Whatever portal can support, we are just asking for those layers to be matched as per the template.
हे लोअर ग्राउंड अपर ग्राउंड ग्राउंड लेवलची हाईट कशी कॅल्क्युलेट
नहीं तो
Yes, sir.
वो तो इसके वो जो बायलोस के हिसाब से बोलेंगे वो तुम्हारा जो बायलोस है वो हिसाब से तुम ये करो
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Hello, excuse me,
Yes, sir.
ma'am. This is architect Vinod Kakade here from Ahmednagar Cantonment.
Yes, sir.
I have one question. Actually,
Yes, sir.
so many questions are there, but I will ask you afterwards. So first of all, I want to know if you have any problem at the time of pressing or doing the drawing. If you found any problem, there is any system to raise a ticket?
While uploading the file to the portal.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if in case you have any queries, you can mail it to us,
Okay.
to me and to BL team. Also, you can put your queries in this DXF file folder under your CB name, and just mention the name of the file and whatever query you have onto the mail. We'll check it out. Also, we have a common group with BEL team. Shashikala ma'am will tell the name of the group, I guess. So you can ask your queries over there as well.
Okay, okay. One more thing I want to know is,
Yes, sir.
the thing is that actually I am working in BPMS, the software, which is the software of Government of Maharashtra.
Okay, sir.
The name is the software is BPMS.
Okay.
There is a system before uploading the drawing. We have to take a patch of certain patch. Is there any system in this?
Sir, I'm not getting the question exactly. What kind of patch inside the drawing itself?
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you please explain?
If I am working with a AutoCAD software,
Yeah.
there is a in case of BPMS, Government of Maharashtra, only AutoCAD can't do this. For uploading the drawing and all the things, we have to download the patch of that software, BPMS system.
Okay. No, so for this system, you don't need to download anything. You can just create it on to any software which by which you can create a DXF file, because on the portal you will upload finally the DXF file.
Okay, means there is no any limitation about the software
No,
and
no, no.
the version of the software.
No, any version you can use, just the DXF file. And please, for these initial time when we are checking your files, so
Okay.
please try to save it onto the version lower than 2016, because my system is 2016, so I cannot open a higher version file.
Okay, okay. We have to save it within
Yeah, but for portal
2016.
purpose you can use any, but any version, that is no issues. Just the
Okay.
DXF file it should be.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, welcome, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is that template being shared with us right now, or
This template has already been shared with you, ma'am. If you'll see this folder, DXF files, is this being shared with you?
we didn't get it actually?
Yeah, please check it out. And inside this folder, we have DGD architect folder. You can see the DXF file. The file name is common CB template 10522. So this is the common template, and this is the Excel file which I have shown you here just now, on which you can check what are the conditions you need to meet while preparing these files to upload.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Can we move ahead? Any doubts, or should we move ahead?
हेलो
Yes, sir.
मैं देहरादून कैंट से बात कर रहा हूँ।
Yes, sir.
हमने एक फाइल उसको अपलोड किया था, पूरा क्लियर हो गया था उसमें, लाइव हुआ
Okay.
था हमारा देहरादून कैंट का, पर इसमें लास्ट में हमें कोई डिजिटल मैप तो इसमें मिला नहीं मैम।
Digital map as in sanctioned, after sanctioning the signed map you are asking.
जी मैम।
So Shashikala ma'am, can we have any resolution to this query?
We'll check and get back. Kiran, right now, do we have solution for that?
Can you please repeat the question?
They want to have that approved plan for downloading.
Hello.
We'll get back to you, sir. We'll discuss and then we'll get back to you, because right now we don't have the solution for this. That's what they meant it, right, Tanvi?
Yes, ma'am. He means the sanctioned plan having the digital sign of the approver.
Yeah, currently digital sign facility we don't have in the system. I think, okay, we can give the QR code based authenticated plan also. We'll see, like that can be a part of whatever the approval we are giving. Sanction letter, whatever we are giving, can we just take that as a print or give, or like we let us see that any other option is available.
Yes.
Right now we don't know. We have to check with even e-governance foundation also. We'll check and get back to you on that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
So we'll move ahead to the other layers. The next layer is chhaja or projection balcony layer. So if you have any accessible balcony, then you'll create it under this block and floor I balcony layer. And if it is an inaccessible chhaja or canopy, you'll create it under block and floor I chhaja layer in color 7. Also, please note in these balcony layers, if you have a balcony constructed onto the first floor only, you just need to create this enclosed rectangle in balcony layer for first floor itself. If you don't have uh, any platform or any pedestal just below the balcony onto the ground floor, don't create any template layer for balcony onto the ground floor, because if you're creating the balcony only on one floor, just show it onto that particular floor on which it is being constructed. Okay, so now here if you will see, I have created this block 1 floor 0 balcony 1, because we have a pedestal over here just below the balcony. If we don't have, we'll not show it under template layers. In the 0th layer we can show it, that is no issues. Manually, if we need to uh, we want to get it checked manually, we can show it under the dotted line for showing the balcony profile of above floor onto the ground floor. We can show it in 0th layer only. But if we are using the template layer, that means that particular entity is being constructed on that same floor, because portal reads it like that. So if we have this layer on ground floor and this layer on first floor, that means we are having a balcony on first floor and a pedestal on ground floor just below the balcony uh, area itself. It can be more or less depending on your proposal, your proposed drawing. Then if you are having any inaccessible chhaja or canopy, you'll create it under this layer called block and floor I chhaja under color 7, and the same rule will apply over there as well. If you are creating the chhaja on first floor, just create it under the layer floor 1. If you are having anything constructed on ground floor, then only use this layer for ground floor. Otherwise, just create it on the in the first floor layers. For staircase, please understand this section very carefully. First of all, select the type of staircase. If your CV bylaws mandate that you have to show a fire staircase, then your primary staircase you need to show under the fire staircase layer, and then the other staircases, if in case you have, you'll show under the general staircase layers. And if in case you have a spiral staircase as well, you just show the outer staircase well and match it with this layer, and other layers you'll show either under the fire staircase if it is a fire staircase, or under general staircase if it is a general staircase. So for example, if I take this fire staircase layer, block and floor 1 fire stair K, if you read the description, it asks for polyline showing fire staircase area or the staircase well area. So this layer, this outermost layer of the staircase on ground floor plan, this is block 1 floor 0 stair 1, which I just discussed, and this floor height m equals to 3.2. These two should be in the same layer. This is under general staircase layer because we have created the general staircase in this file, because this was not the mandate for fire staircase for this particular CV. If your CB mandates that you should have a primary staircase as a fire staircase, then use the fire staircase layers only. Otherwise, you can use the general staircase as well. Then the next layer is block and floor I fire stair K flight M Under this, we have these 4 types of layers. If you see the name of the layer, this is same, block 1, floor 0, fire stair 1, flight 1, but the color varies. The color 7 is for polyline showing flight of fire staircase. The next color shows the number of risers, and then the width and length of the flight only. So the name of the layer remains same. Based on the color, the portal identifies that whether it is the area of landing, whether it is the dimension showing width or showing length of the landing, or whether it is the riser, the line showing riser of that particular flight. So if I create landing for this flights for this particular staircase, it has 3 flights. So I'll create 3 enclosed polylines and match it with this layer. To show the polylines, to show the area of flight. Then the number of risers. If you see, these are not polylines, these are just lines, and the count of the number of risers should be correct. So this way you will create all the risers in the same layer but in the different color. This area is shown in the layer block 1, floor 0, stair 1, flight 1. Also these risers in the same layer, but the color is green for these risers, the color number 3. And then the dimensions, just create the length and width dimension for each of your light. And match it with appropriate layers. For example, color 2 for the width, and color 1 for the length of this particular flight. Similarly, for this flight and this flight, we'll create the dimensions, the width and length dimensions, and we'll match with appropriate layers. In the similar manner, we'll create polylines for landings as well. So we have 3 landings in this staircase. We'll create all 3 enclosed polylines and we'll match it with the layer named block and floor I, stair K, landing M. So this again has 3 layers with different colors. So the first one says polyline showing landing. We'll match it with these 3 polylines. Then we'll create the dimensions. For all 3 landings, and we'll match them with the appropriate dimension layers. color 1 for the length of the landing and color 2 for width of the landing. You can just check that in the description shown on right side of this table. Please ensure you write this text in the outermost layer called block 1 floor 0 stair 1 layer itself. So this was about the staircase. If you have any doubts regarding staircase, you may please ask. You'll write this text on each level, on whichever level you're showing the staircase, and match it with the staircase well layer. Now this is under block 1 floor 1 stair 1, like this. And similarly for first floor also, we can draw the flight layers and the landing layers and their dimensions along with the number of risers. So there are no doubts regarding staircase, I guess. Okay, so the next layer we have is the floor height. I have already told you.
Madam, sorry to,
Yes, sir. No, please go on.
Madam, if there are typical floor plans, first, second, third, both, all the three plans are same. So whether
Yes.
it is necessary to draw again staircase block and all floors, etc.
Yes, sir. In that case, you can show a staircase thrice. I mean, if the second floor plan is typical with the first floor,
Yes.
then you need to show the built up, all the layers, the built up area layer and the staircase and everything again, because the portal will not read it that way.
But though it is typical
So
floor plan,
although it is, even if it is a typical floor plan, you will just copy and paste it again and just create these layers onto that plan so that portal knows that this is another floor plan.
no. Okay.
Yeah, because manually we know that the typical word means there are
Criminals.
distinct areas, but the portal counts the built up area like this.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
There is no option, ma'am. Any?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So the next layer we have is the floor height. The name is block and floor height. Here block n, if you see the block n, which means the block number. If on the same site we have two or more blocks of building, then we need to create separate set of layers for the another building block, which says the name as, for example, if the name says block 1 floor 0 fire stair landing, so we need to create a separate set which says block 2 floor 0 if we have a different building block onto the same site plan. Here in this particular layer for floor height, which I have already shown you in the elevation, we have two types of layers over here depending on the roof type. If it is the sloping roof or the pent roof, then you have to create it under the same layer in the color 5, blue color. And if it is the flat roof, then we'll create it under color 6, this magenta color. So because this is a flat roof, we have created in magenta color and the floor height layer for ground floor, floor height layer for above floors, above subsequent floors. After floor height, we have another layer called habitable room. So the layer name is block and floor regular room, and this is being decided as per the room type. If you'll see the description for bedrooms, we have the color 1. For bedroom with attached washroom, we have the color 2. For drawing room, we have color 3, kitchen color 5, toilets color 6, and so on. If onto the same plot you have a small religious building or a convenience shop, you can show that polyline in color 40 and 10 respectively. So if I see over here, all the bedrooms we have created in color 1 on ground floor. So if you'll see here, the layer name and the color is same. If you'll see the color of kitchen, the layer for this this room and this bedroom and this kitchen, the layer name is same, but the color varies. The color for bedroom is 1 and the color for kitchen is color 5. Similarly, for toilets and bathrooms, we have this magenta color 6, would be same color, layer name and color on same floor. Like this. For any common area, for lobby, dining, drawing room, any common area, we'll use the color 3 or this green color. Similarly, we'll show these polylines for first floor and all above subsequent floors as well. Please choose the color of the layers wisely so that the area to be read by the portal would be clearly understandable. After these habitable room layer, we have light and ventilation. So for this, we have 3 types of layers. For door, for window, and for ventilator, we have these 3 colors. So to create the door opening, we are creating this in color 24, for windows color 140, for ventilator color 150. So if you'll see over here, we have created these doors. In the layer name called block 1 floor 0 light ventilation, color 24 for doors. Similarly, we have created this ventilator in the same layer name under color 150. All the ventilators on same floor plan would be created in this layer under color 150. Like this. And all the windows, if you'll see, will be created in the same layer name under color 140. For ventilator, it's color 150. And for all the windows, it's enclosed polyline again, showing color 140. Any doubt regarding habitable room and light and ventilation layers?
Madam,
Yes, sir.
bathroom and WC both are different. Then same layer should be created. दोनों को सेम ही लेयर आएगा क्या? Magenta color.
Yes, sir. If your CB bylaws ask a different dimension about it or something, then
Yes.
you will have a different layer. If you see over here, we have a layer called bath and toilet below this. Block N floor I bath, block N floor I WC bath.
Okay.
For the attached. So over here, you can show the dimension to show height. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
और इंस्टीट्यूशनल बिल्डिंग रहेंगे तो उसका क्या, उसके लिए गर्ल्स टॉयलेट अलग रहते हैं, बॉयज टॉयलेट अलग रहते हैं, उसका क्या?
What, sir?
पूछो डायरेक्टली.
Okay, sir.
मैडम अगर इंस्टीट्यूशनल अगर बिल्डिंग होगा तो उसके लिए
मतलब क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है सर?
इंस्टीट्यूशनल बिल्डिंग के लिए क्या होता है कि यानी जो गर्ल्स के लिए इतने टॉयलेट चाहिए, बॉयज के लिए इतने, तो उसका कैसा होगा?
सर आपको इस पर्टिकुलर लेयर में आपको सिर्फ इंक्लोज पॉलीलाइंस बनानी है. For girls and boys, which is your particular CB name? Can you please tell me?
Pune Cantonment, ma'am.
Pune Cantonment Board.
Okay. So for Pune Can Board, we have more comprehensive bylaws. So we'll get different layer for that. different colors for that. Basically, layer would be same. We'll add one more color for that.
Okay.
और रूम्स के लिए जो रूम्स होंगे इंस्टीट्यूशनल स्कूल्स के क्लासरूम्स के लिए सेम.
So actually, what we have created this template by now is for this residential building by now. So if you have those particular bylaws, you'll get those layers in your particular DXF file for your particular CV.
Okay.
And if you have anything, any specific condition which left from that template to be included, you may please tell me, and we'll include it later on.
Madam, there is one more query.
Yes, sir.
If which
हेलो, आर्टिफिशियल लाइट और वेंटिलेशन के लिए क्या प्रोविजन करना पड़ेगा?
Can you please repeat, sir?
आर्टिफिशियल लाइट एंड वेंटिलेशन के लिए कुछ ये करना, ऑडिटोरियम के लिए हम दे नहीं सकते ना, सेमिनार हॉल है, ऑडिटोरियम रहेगा तो विंडो दे नहीं सकते ना उसको.
Right. So for artificial thing, portal doesn't check anything, because this here we are checking just for the sanctioning purpose. So if your CB bylaws says anything about the artificial lighting,
हाँ, लेकिन उसमें वेंटिलेशन का एरर आएगा ना आपकी रिपोर्ट में,
no,
जनरेट हो जाएगा उसमें.
there would be no error if your CB bylaw doesn't says any specific thing about that this much should be the minimum ventilation for this particular room. There would be no error in that. If your bylaw states any specific condition regarding that, then only it will show the error.
है ना मैडम, वैसा स्पेसिफिक है कि इतना वेंटिलेशन 1/7 होना चाहिए, 1/8 होना चाहिए, वो उनके हिसाब से ऐसा है बायलॉज में.
So portal doesn't check that about 1/4 or 1/7, because that needs to be checked manually.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You can have the interior or exterior courtyards for light and ventilation in this layer. Block and floor eye, courtyard inner. If you have any open areas or any inner courtyards within your site plan. Then the building basement footprint. If you have any basement, you'll create it in these layers, block and level I, basement footprint. And you'll see that we have not created any layers for the floor plans over here. We have only created it under the basement 1 and basement 2, because here we are creating the basement footprints. In color 5, we are showing the polyline to show building basement footprint, and the value would be negative. For example, -1. Block 1 level -1 basement footprint, and this is block 1 level -2 basement footprint. If we have third basement allowed as per our CB bylaws, then we need to create a third set of layers for this basement footprint as well. Then in the same layer, color 1, color red, we need to show the dimension from the clear height of the basement.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes, sir.
The area will be calculated by the software only, or we need to calculate the area?
No, sir. Area will be calculated by software. You just need to create the enclosed polyline so that software can read the area.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
do we need to create different plans for different unit of building? For example, we have group housing projects, so we will be having unit with the same plan. For example, 5 to 6 unit with the same plan. So it will be calculated automatically, or we have to show separate plans for each of them.
You have to show separate plans, and for separate building blocks, you need to show different layers, different set of layers you need to create.
But if the plan is same for different unit, then how it will be calculated?
Okay, so then we'll add one information in that plan information layer, that the number of typical blocks, the number of typical floors. So in that you can fill up that information,
Okay.
and that will be checked manually later on.
So for a typical floor also we can do that, right? For a single building, if the first and second floor plans are typical, then also it will, the software will detect that, or we
No,
need
no,
to.
that would be checked manually. But if you have similar building blocks, for example, block A and block C are similar,
Uh,
are typical, then you can just write down the number of blocks in that plan information layer itself. We'll add that particular point, and the plans would be checked manually then.
okay, and one more thing is that we usually have apartments in which there is parking floor. I mean, in the parking floor itself, half portion will we will be having residential unit, like half will be parking and half will be residential unit.
Yeah.
So
So
we
for
usually name it as parking or ground floor because one side it is parking floor and one side it is actually usable.
So whichever area is usable, you just draw it under the ground floor layers, and whichever is the stilt parking, you'll use this layer, block and floor I stilt
Okay, okay.
for that parking area.
Actually, our CB allows G+2 or steel +3 floors. So
Right.
that's why I asked that question.
Yeah, right. So the stilt or any surface parking you will show under this layer. Any basement parkings you will show under this basement footprint layer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Then after basement footprint, we have two more dimensions to be shown with color code 2, minimum height of the ceiling of upper basement above ground level. So whatever height we are getting above NGL to the bottom of beam of the ground floor, wherein we can provide the ventilators in the for the basement. So that height we need to show in this particular yellow color, and color 3 we will use this to show the level of basement under the ground below the NGL. So above the NGL, whatever is the height of basement, we'll show it under yellow color, and below the NGL, whatever is the depth of basement, we'll show it in green color, and the clear height of basement, internal clear height of the basement, we'll show it in this red color, and the building basement footprint will show in this blue color, color 5. After basement, we'll have a different layer called distance between block N and block M. So if you have two blocks on the same site, then to show the dimension between those two blocks, you will show this particular layer called distance between block N, block M. For then for wash basin, for WC, we have these two layers: block and floor I wash, block and floor I water closet. If you see the description, we have polyline or circle to show wash basins, polyline to show water closets. If we have different types of WCs, if in case we have, then we have two more layers to show the other types of WC. Otherwise, we just need to show it in type 1 color red. If I see on the ground floor plan, we have shown this polyline in color 1 to show the location of WC on ground floor plan. Similarly, we have this circle to show the wash basins, the location of wash basins on the ground floor plan in the same layer. For first floor, we have first floor layers for the WCs and wash basin. Block 1, floor 1 WC, like this.
Excuse me,
If
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Why do we need to show the location of wash basin now?
Because if your CB asks for any information regarding that minimum number of sanitary provision should be this much, you have the provision to show it over here. If
Okay.
your CB bylaws don't specify it mandatory, then you can skip this.
Okay. Okay.
Similarly, for urinals, if you have any, you can show under this layer. For bath and toilet, this is again CB specific. If your CB asks for any particular information, a height of that minimum height of bathroom or toilet should be this much, then you can use these layers for them. Utility supply line. We have four layers under this, four sub layers under this layer. The first is electricity supply line in color 1, water supply line in color 2, water drain line color 40, and sewerage line color 48. Symbolically, I have shown it in site plan. You'll show it in the polyline, which as per the actual site location. So from wherever your electricity line is coming from and going to, you'll show it under the polyline, not under the line, under the polyline layer. Because here in the description, if you'll see, it says polylines to show different supply utility lines. So it must be a polyline. Then match it with the layer called utility supply line under color 1. So this shows the electricity supply line. I have shown it just symbolically. Please don't show it like this. Show as per your site conditions. Show these utility lines as per your site conditions in site plan itself. Similarly, we have other layers called water supply, water drain, and sewerage line also. So show all these utility lines in these sub layers. Then the septic tank layer we have. If you have existing septic tank, then show it in color 1. If you are proposing any septic tank, then show it in color 2. For example, in this site plan, I have already this existing septic tank, so I have shown it in color 1 in the layer name septic underscore tank underscore n. Also this dimension which shows the distance of septic tank to the water supply in color 3. Dimension to show distance to water source in color 3. Then if your CB bylaws asks for some minimum ground coverage, maximum ground coverage allowed, then you need to show the ground coverage area in these layers. And whatever deductions or voids or shafts are there, you will draw it in this deduct layer. Block 1 covered area deduct layer. These two layers are for ground coverage area. You can skip this if your CB bylaws don't ask anything about the ground coverage. Then north direction, you'll show a polyline in this layer just to show above your north point. Take the polyline, keep the whole north point in 0th layer itself, and just draw this particular polyline and match it with your north direction layer. Like this. Then rainwater harvesting pit location, RWH. The layer in color 7. And for parking, we have this layer called block and floor ice tilt in color 4. Any doubts or queries till now? I hope I have covered all the aspects of this template. You may ask if you have any doubts regarding this, and please go through this Excel once because this will help you to know which particular layer to show on which particular type of drawing.
मैडम एक क्वेरी था.
Yes, sir.
एंटायर ग्राउंड फ्लोर पार्किंग होगा और उसमें 2 व्हीलर एंड 4 व्हीलर पार्किंग दिखाया हो, तो मिनिमम एरिया ऑफ पार्किंग का जो है कार के लिए इतना स्क्वायर मीटर चाहिए और 2 व्हीलर के इतना, तो वो सॉफ्टवेयर चेक करेगा क्या एक्चुअली वेदर नंबर ऑफ पार्किंग फिट होता है कि नहीं उसमें?
Sir, for your CB is Pune.
पुणे पुणे कैंटोनमेंट।
Yes, sir. Sir, we will have different layers for two-wheeler parking, but the portal will not check it. This needs to be checked manually because maybe the person can the architect or the person who is uploading the file, they can draw it.
Not there,
May not be appropriately draw it, and they are showing the correct area on the drawing maybe in zeroth layer, so that needs to be checked once manually.
एग्जिस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर
लेकिन वो उसमें वो एक्चुअली सॉफ्टवेयर ने चेक किया हो तो करेक्ट हो जाएगा वो, नहीं तो आर्किटेक्ट तो वो दिखाते नहीं, नंबर ज्यादा दिखाते हैं कार्स जो बैठते भी
Yes,
नहीं।
yes, sir. So that is why we need to check it manually because portal will understand it like whatever the template layer, the architect shows whatever in the template layer, the portal will
PMC
think
की
it is
तरफ
true.
पार्किंग होती है।
और एग्जिस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर टू बी डिमोलिश्ड, वो उसका कुछ लेयर ही आया नहीं मैम।
तो
Yes,
और उसको
we have a
extend
layer for demolished structure also.
एक
Here in the built up area layer itself, we have block 1, floor 1 built up area demolish. If you'll see over here, we
Okay.
have this demolish layer also. For
तो
the
रिटर्न होगा।
existing part, we can show it in this area existing layer. The deduction under this existing part also we have a layer to show that, and for demolish we have this layer to show.
एक्सटेंशन से फर्नीचर है, तो उसी में एग्जिस्टिंग विथ एडिशनल फ्लोर होगा तो भी वो अलग से दिखा सकते हैं ना।
Yes, sir. If you have, for example, ground floor existing, and if you are demolishing something on first floor, you can show it in ground floor in this existing layer, and then the area to be demolished in this demolished layer, and then after that you can create new enclosed polylines under this built up area layer and the area deduct layer.
ओके।
हेलो मैडम, कारपेट एरिया के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा?
ठीक है ना, कारपेट का दिया ना।
कारपेट एरिया के पिलर पूरा अलग सा घुमाने पड़ेगा।
Carpet area, the total built up area of the
नहीं,
floor plate.
इंडिविजुअल फ्लैट अलग अलग फ्लैट्स रहेंगे तो उसके
Right.
लिए अलग अलग कारपेट एरिया दिखाना पड़ेगा ना, मल्टीपल टेनेमेंट रहेगा।
So what does your bylaw state about the carpet area?
यस मैम।
What it states in your CV bylaws? What is the
एरिया ऑफ
condition for carpet?
एरिया ऑफ पार्किंग उनको दिखाना होगा, तो उसमें इंटरनल एरिया दिखाना पड़ता है ना, पार्किंग का एरिया।
So parking, तो we have this layer of parking ना, we can show it in this layer.
नहीं मैडम, आपने ये जो
He
लिया
is
है अभी,
asking about the carpet area.
हाँ कारपेट एरिया जो हमारा जो है, हर एक फ्लैट अलग अलग नंबर का रहेगा ना, 1 नंबर फ्लैट न रहेगा, 2 नंबर फ्लैट रहेगा।
Right.
हर
So I'm asking, sir, what does your CV bylaw states about the carpet area? How much it should be?
डिपेंड्स ऑन रूम साइज।
Right. So if it depends on some particular thing, it needs to be checked manually. Portal can only read if it is, for example, something should be greater than 100 square meter, something should be smaller than 10 feet. Only those particular values portal can read. So the things which are dependent on other conditions, that needs to be checked manually.
ओके मैडम, अभी अपने वो प्लान दिखाओ ना फिर एक बार मुझे। और इसमें जो अभी एक फ्लोर जो है, फर्स्ट फ्लोर है और सेकंड फ्लोर है, उसमें टेनेमेंट नंबर अलग अलग आएगा ना, तो नंबर कैसे काउंट होएगी? इसमें आइडेंटिटी नहीं होता ना।
What is the tenement number, sir? Floor number you are saying?
फर्स्ट फ्लोर का ओनर अलग है, दूसरे सेकंड फ्लोर का ओनर अलग रहेगा ना।
Okay. No, so sanctioning के लिए आपको ओनर से क्या करना है? I mean, आप
नहीं,
जो बिल्डिंग सैंक्शन कराएगा वो तो एक ही ओनर होगा ना, बाद में वो
नहीं,
उसको
बेचना है
अलग
दूसरे को है ना, तो कौन सा फ्लैट बेचना है वो उसमें इंडिकेट होना चाहिए ना।
प्लान की कॉपी पे आता है, रजिस्ट्रेशन के नाम पे तो लगता है ना नंबर फ्लैट्स का।
नहीं, जब आप सैंक्शन कराने के लिए बिल्डिंग डालते हैं,
हाँ,
सैंक्शनिंग के टाइम पे जिसके नाम पे वो बिल्डिंग होगी उस टाइम पे एज पर द
नहीं,
सील डीड और
मुझे
अदर ओनरशिप डॉक्यूमेंट्स, वो डिजाइन करा के पूरी बिल्डिंग को एक बार में सैंक्शन कराएगा और फिर वो बाद में अलग अलग फ्लोर्स को सेल करेगा।
लेकिन इसमें आइडेंटिटी नहीं होता ना, अलग सा उसका मार्क होना चाहिए ना इस फ्लोर पे। एक इसको नंबर टेनेमेंट नंबर 1 2 3 4 जो कुछ भी रहेगा वो अलग आना चाहिए ना उसमें।
नहीं सर, पूरी बिल्डिंग तो एक बार में सैंक्शन होगी ना,
हमें
सैंक्शन
बराबर है, सैंक्शन के साथ फ्लैट नंबर भी आते हैं ना।
रजिस्ट्रेशन के टाइम पे सेक्शन कॉपी लगता है ना।
कौन सा रजिस्ट्रेशन की बात कर रहे हैं सर?
वो टेनेमेंट अलग अलग आएगी ना, नंबर ऑफ टेनेमेंट परमिसिबल जो होता है ना कैंटोनमेंट बिल्डिंग बायलॉज के हिसाब से 250 टेनेमेंट पर हेक्टर है वो। तो 40 स्क्वायर मीटर का एक टेनेमेंट होता है एक्चुअली। तो ये प्लान में समझो 2 टेनेमेंट होगा, तो उसमें वो नंबर देना पड़ेगा ए 1 2 3 4। नंबर ऑफ टेनेमेंट परमिसिबल शोन ऑन द प्लान कितना है तो वो समझ में नहीं आता है ना उसमें।
सर आप अपना सीबी बताइए कौन सा है।
पुणे कैंटोनमेंट बोर्ड।
ओके सर, पुणे के लिए मैं 1 मिनट आपका ये खोलती हूँ।
श्राइन का अपना वैसे है ना 5-6 टेनेंट्स थे।
तुमचे ते रेट वेगळे आहेत ना, कमर्शियलचे रेट वेगळे, रेसिडेन्शियल वेगळे आहेत ना। मग त्यात कमर्शियल एरिया आणि रेसिडेन्शियल वेगळा मार्क होते।
सर इसमें किस वाले हेड के अंडर आ रहा है? मतलब ये जो आप टेनमेंट वाली बात कह रहे हैं, ये सीबी बायलॉज के किस हेड के अंडर आ रहा है?
ये एक्चुअली हमारे बिल्डिंग बायलॉज का लास्ट पेज है, उसमें इसमें तो
हाँ, किस सब हेड के अंदर आ रहा है वो बताइए।
कौन से इसमें तो नहीं है मैडम। नहीं सेव इसमें नहीं शो हुआ है वो।
इसमें नहीं है, शो नहीं हो रहा है ना।
जी
तो इसका मतलब सर वो चीजें फिर आपको मैन्युअली चेक करनी पड़ेंगी अगर इसमें शो नहीं हो रहा है तो।
जी 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 ठीक।
एक बार इसमें देख लेते हैं आपकी।
और दूसरा मैम एक क्वेरी था कि कमर्शियल एरिया का रेट जो है डेवलप फीस फॉर रिलीजिंग सैंक्शन बिल्डिंग प्लान फॉर कमर्शियल एरिया डिफरेंट है और रेसिडेंशियल का अलग है, तो वो भी मैन्युअली चेक करना पड़ेगा क्या?
सर इसमें ना यहाँ प्लान इंफॉर्मेशन में ये बता देंगे कि वो जो प्रॉपर्टी है वो रेजिडेंशियल आ रही है, कमर्शियल है, या असेंबली बिल्डिंग है, पब्लिक बिल्डिंग है।
नहीं मिक्स है अगर
पूरा मिक्स रहते हैं।
कभी कभी ग्राउंड फ्लोर शॉप्स कम वो अपर फ्लोर रेसिडेंशियल होते हैं ना।
अच्छा हाँ, मिक्स लैंड यूज अलाउड है।
हाँ मिक्स लैंड। हाँ
ठीक है, तो मिक्स लैंड यूज का भी एक इसमें कंडीशन ऐड कर देंगे।
जी। और
कैसे ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे जो कमर्शियल होगा ऊपर रेसिडेंशियल होगा।
हेलो मैडम,
यस सर।
ग्रुप हाउसिंग में जिस तरह से आप मल्टीपल फ्लोर बिल्डिंग के लिए कर रहे हैं ना, उसी तरह से इसी में आप मल्टीपल फ्लोर का किया, ऑड और इवन का टिपिकल फ्लोर रहेगा तो ये किया तो वो इजी जाएगा काम करने के लिए। नहीं तो हर एक फ्लोर पे लेयर नेम चेंज करने में ही बहुत सारे एरर हो सकते हैं, और आपके सॉफ्टवेयर में भी उसमें जनरेट होने में, ड्राइंग जनरेट होने में बहुत टाइम जाएगा।
तो सर आप एक फ्लोर के लिए टिपिकल दिखा दीजिए, और फिर मैंने जैसे बताया कि मैं टिपिकल फ्लोर्स के नंबर्स के लिए यहाँ पर वील ऐड वन लाइन टू शो द टिपिकल नंबर ऑफ फ्लोर्स
हाँ, उसी तरह से किया तो
एंड
चलेगा।
टिपिकल नंबर ऑफ ब्लॉक्स।
हाँ
में बस आप नंबर्स ऐड कर दीजिए एंड दैट विल गेट चेक्ड मैनुअली।
लेकिन अभी मेरा टिपिकल फ्लोर जो जिस तरह से ऑड और इवन रहता है ना, उसी में कैसे होगा? क्योंकि टिपिकल फ्लोर मेरा फर्स्ट फ्लोर, थर्ड फ्लोर और फिफ्थ फ्लोर सेम है, और सेकंड फोर्थ और सिक्स फ्लोर सेम है, तो उसको कैसे करने का?
फ्लोर नंबर डाल, मतलब फ्लोर नंबर्स
ऑड
को
और
काउंट
इवन
करके
में
डाल
हम
दीजिए। सर आप जीरोथ लेयर में तो आप उसको शो करेंगे ही ना, पूरा का पूरा जो अपना कैड का प्लान
नहीं,
डिटेल ड्राइंग है वो आप जीरो लेयर में तो बनाएंगे ही। उसके अलावा प्लान इन्फो में आप टोटल नंबर ऑफ टिपिकल ब्लॉक्स कितने हैं, जैसे अगर आपका थर्ड फोर्थ और सिक्स्थ है तो
हाँ
टोटल 3 ब्लॉक्स हो गए ना, तो आप
हाँ
उसमें टिपिकल नंबर ऑफ ब्लॉक्स 3 डाल देंगे।
ओके। लेकिन वो काउंट कैसे करेगा? वो
काउंट
वही सेम है। हाँ,
सर
जो
वो तो
मैंने
फिर मैनुअली चेक होगी वो चीज क्योंकि
नहीं,
एक बार टिपिकल फ्लोर को इसने चेक कर लिया पोर्टल ने, उसके बाद यहाँ पर ये चीज चेक हो जाएगी कि आपके वैसे ही 3 फ्लोर्स हैं, तो 3 ब्लॉक्स हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल 10 ब्लॉक्स हैं टोटल, और टिपिकल उसमें से 3 है, तो आपने 8 के लिए ड्राइंग्स बना दी, और बाकी 2 जो हैं वो टिपिकल हैं, वो यहाँ से देख के पता लग जाएगा।
हाँ, तो लेकिन वो इंडिकेट कलर उसको देना पड़ेगा, उस ये कलर की इतने ऐसा है, ये टिपिकल फ्लोर है ऐसा।
नहीं सर, क्योंकि आफ्टर दैट पोर्टल स्क्रूटनी योर ड्राइंग विल बी चेक मैनुअली आल्सो ना, तो वो
हाउ टू
मैनुअली
कैलकुलेट?
में डिटेल चेक होगा। Portal has some limitations because only values can be checked in the portal layers. If it is smaller than or greater than this particular value, then only it can be checked.
मैडम वन मोर क्वेरी था। एक्चुअली पार्किंग फ्लोर में जो स्टेयरकेस दिखाते हैं वो फ्री ऑफ एफएसआई आता है, और टेरेस फ्लोर में समझो स्टेयरकेस है और उसको एडजॉइनिंग एक आधा रूम है, तो उस केस में फ्लोर बिल्टअप एरिया जो पकड़ना पड़ेगा टेरेस
हाँ,
फ्लोर में, समझो
हाँ।
एक ही रूम है 100 स्क्वायर फुट का, तो इंक्लूडिंग स्टेयरकेस का एरिया पकड़ना पड़ेगा क्या वो, या?
नहीं नहीं, आप जो वॉइड वाला लेयर बनाया है ना सर, मैं जो शाफ्ट पे, उसी
जी
लेयर के अंदर आप उस स्टेयरकेस के एरिया को भी ऐड कर सकते हैं, अगर वो आपके बिल्टअप एरिया में इंक्लूड नहीं होता है एज पर योर सीबी बायलॉज,
नहीं, यदि
तो
वो
फिर वो कैलकुलेट काउंट नहीं होगा उसमें।
स्टेयर, हाँ वही वही पूछना था। ओके।
जी जी, वो काउंट नहीं होगा, अगर आप
हाँ
इस वॉइड वाली लेयर में उसको बना देंगे तो
जी जी,
फिर वो उसमें से
ओके
सब्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा।
ओके ओके ओके, थैंक
लिफ्ट
यू।
लिफ्ट
और लिफ्ट का भी वो कुछ मैडम उसमें आया नहीं, लिफ्ट
लिफ्ट लिफ्ट
लिफ्ट
मशीन
लिफ्ट
रूम।
लिफ्ट लिफ्ट के लिए अगर आपका सीवी बायलॉज कुछ पर्टिकुलर बायलॉज कुछ बोल रहा है, देन वी हैव अ डिफरेंट लेयर फॉर लिफ्ट। इस पर्टिकुलर में नहीं है, क्योंकि अभी तक के बायलॉज में वो आया नहीं है। तो यूटिलिटी यहाँ पे हमारे पास है, ये है ना, इफ यू सी अदर यूटिलिटीज रूम इन कलर 8,
ओके
तो इसमें हम शो कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अभी बायलॉज के अकॉर्डिंग लिफ्ट कहीं नहीं आया, पर
हाँ
लिफ्ट अगर स्टिल कोई शो करना चाहता है तो इसमें कर सकते हैं। पर जिन बायलॉज में लिफ्ट अलग से है, उसके लिए लिफ्ट की एक लेयर अलग से उन्हें मिलेगी उनके टेम्पलेट
नहीं,
में।
उसमें क्या है मैम, लिफ्ट का जो एरिया है वो एक फ्लोर के में ऐड होता है, और अपर फ्लोर में शाफ्ट माइनस हो जाता है उसमें, तो
हम्म।
ग्राउंड फ्लोर का जो एक फ्लोर का एरिया उसमें वो ऐड हो जाएगा, और
हाँ,
बाकी के फ्लोर में वो माइनस हो जाता है एक्चुअली।
बिल्कुल। तो बाकी के फ्लोर्स में जिसमें वो माइनस होगा, उसको तो आप इस वाले ये डिडक्ट वाला जो लेयर है
ओके
इसमें बना देंगे, और जिसमें
ओके,
वो ऐड होगा उसमें आप ये डिडक्ट वाला लेयर नहीं बनाएंगे उस
नहीं
फ्लोर
नहीं, ओके मैम, ओके, थैंक यू।
में। यस मैम।
Can you tell us about this?
ओके, थैंक यू।
यस यस
मैम,
या
हमारे कई प्लान्स में रिवाइज बिल्डिंग प्लान होते हैं जिसमें एग्जिस्टिंग और प्रपोज्ड अलग अलग रहता है, मतलब एग्जिस्टिंग बिल्डिंग और प्रपोज बिल्डिंग, तो उस केस में कैसे करेंगे, मतलब बिल्डअप एरिया कैलकुलेशन?
जितना भी आपका एग्जिस्टिंग का पार्ट है, अगर आप यहाँ देखेंगे ना, बिल्टअप एरिया एग्जिस्टिंग एंड ऑल्टरेशन, तो इसमें हमारे पास ये लेयर है बिल्टअप एरिया एग्जिस्टिंग और बिल्टअप एरिया एग्जिस्टिंग डिडक्ट। तो जैसे अभी हमने नया प्रपोज करना है, तो बिल्टअप एरिया और बिल्टअप एरिया डिडक्ट लेयर्स जैसे अभी हमने यूज किए हैं इस फ्लोर प्लान में, ऐसे ही हम एग्जिस्टिंग वाली लेयर्स में एग्जिस्टिंग वाले फ्लोर्स दिखा देंगे, और जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग के डिडक्शंस हैं वो इसमें दिखा देंगे इस लेयर में। और अगर कुछ एग्जिस्टिंग से हम डिमोलिश भी कर रहे हैं तो वो उस डिमोलिश वाली लेयर में दिखा देंगे।
ओके।
एनीथिंग एल्स? Shashikala ma'am, I hope we have covered all the aspects. So do you want to add something to that?
Ma'am, it's I think one point. Maybe by end of the day, I will share once again all the paths to all these CBs, where exactly these TFX files are there. And secondly, maybe CB Kanpur, Ahmednagar, and Wellington. We request you to make your plans ready by Monday, and any clarifications or any inputs required, you can always drop the messages in the group, models group. Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. And one more thing, ma'am. Kiran, are you there? Kiran? Kiran, are you there? Hello? Kiran, what madam was
Am I
asking
audible now?
is that in testing CB, can these CBs test their plans, Kanpur or in testing CB, are you enabling them to test their plans?
Ma'am, those
Shashikala
files
madam
were
asked me.
added.
You are not audible, Kiran.
That's all.
Okay, ma'am, we'll send all the details in the mail. Maybe the CBs can check the mail
The
and
three CVs can start the UAT. Three CVs can start the UAT.
yes, ma'am.
Three CVs can start the UAT. They can make their plan today when they're ready and they can start the UAT credentials are available. The remaining CVs, that only the testing CV is enabled on. We will ensure once we can just check with Kiran offline and then we can decide.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Any other clarifications? Yes, yes, Tanvi, I think we have done. By end of the day, I'll share all the details in the mail once again.
Okay. And the recording as well, I request.
Yeah, we request all the CVs to start the
Ma'am,
UAT with the drawings based
ma'am,
on the inputs provided by the.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, please share the template also. मतलब link
Ma'am,
of the template.
yeah, all the, ma'am, I'll share that main folder. You can refer the DGD architect folder, all the recordings, training folder, all are there in that folder itself. And in your CB specific folder, you update your plans date wise, whichever you're facing some issues, so that either Bell or Bell team or Tanvi can check, take that file and verify the details. So that also I'll share
So we
maybe
need
by
to
end.
try uploading plans, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Contact number
Make
Ma'am,
your plans ready, ma'am.
share any contact number.
for
Ma'am, your CV programmers are there in one each of the modules group, ma'am.
Okay.
Any queries at any point of time, you please raise your issues in that modules group. Definitely, immediately you will get the response. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Anywhere you are struck with, you please ask your programmer to please message in that group immediately so that you will get the response, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, Tanvi, I think we have done.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you.